Welcome. Welcome to Nubian Queen Talk Show. I am your host, Queen Yolanda Mitchell, and I have a wonderful guest for you all on tonight. And so, for you beautiful queens that are out there, and if you're wondering if there are some kings that's out there that truly prepare for their queen, we got a guest for you on tonight. This thing is going to be nice. And it's going to be spicy and it's going to be good and educational. But for your kings that are out there, this is information for you as well and encouragement. So let you know that we have someone here for you to back y'all up and support you all. Okay. So I am going to introduce this man of God on tonight. He's a global senior apostolic leader known for equipping leaders and intercessors, and he is really good at that, and he has a passion for it. He mentors future leaders. He travels extensively, bringing healing and transformation. He founded the Prayer Club 21, which y'all need to be a part of if you're not, and has authored books and prayer albums. I present to some and introduce to others my apostle, King Apostle, Mike Ebron Jr. Hello, Apostle. How are you?
Hey, I'm well. Thank you for having me here tonight. And what an awesome and wonderful introduction you've done. You stated a lot of my accolades and all that, but of the most, I'm a son, I'm a servant, and I am a man. And I'm here to talk about that manhood. We're going to put the apostle to the side. We're going to talk about the man tonight.
But let's talk. I'm so excited. So for those of you who have not already shared, y'all make sure y'all share this video on tonight because this is going to be really, really good. Okay. So let me go ahead and get started. Y'all go ahead and start sharing. If you have not, go ahead and share. Let's get this thing started. Let's get a bump and let's get it going. And y'all know how we do it on Nubian Queen Talk Show. We always ask for you to comment, ask questions, and he is here just for that. Okay. So let's do that now. Okay. Go ahead and start sharing on your Facebook page. Tag people to come into the room. Tag them to come and say, hey, y'all need to come and be a part of this thing. We love comments. And as you comment, I will advertise it. I will show it. I will let people see it just as we are right here. Bam. Good evening. Yes, and yes. So make sure that you all come in and that you all share. We don't want you all to miss any of this. So we are going live now on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. And it's going to be good. So for you queens that's out there, come on. And y'all are thinking that there's not any men out there that's not preparing for their queen. Yes, there is. Come on. But Apostle's already taken. But he said, don't call him apostle. Okay. So, but he's my apostle. So that's how I have to give it to you all. Okay. So, Apostle, can you introduce us a little bit more? Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? And then, because I know you're sharing right now, and as you have introduced yourself, tell us, we're going to go ahead and get started on the part about how you was preparing for your queen. So I wish you could come on. I was about to ask you at the last minute. Apostle, can you bring your queen on? But I know we can't do that last minute stuff. But tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do a part 2 one day, a special segment, and
Okay.
we'll bring the queen and we'll have that dialogue
Ooh.
about just the different phases. So from us having interest in each other, from us actually courting and dating to the engagement all the way up until the marriage. We'll do an exclusive for you. But yes, I am definitely sharing and getting the word out. And I want to encourage those of you that are watching to do the same. And even if you're watching the replay, I want to encourage you to maybe share with some families, share with some friends, and share with some people that are near and dear to your heart. Because I believe that what we're going to dive into tonight is going to be exactly what people need and for a time and for a season as this. So I am, as she already stated, I am Apostle Mike Ebron Jr. From the ministry aspect. I've been called and gifted by God to raise up leaders, emerging leaders, specifically intercessors, apostolically and prophetically. I have 7 hubs all across the United States, 2 internationally to include Canada and Africa. I've preached in 38 states. I've been to 5 countries. I've been on television, billboards, all of that. All of that truly is just by the grace of God. On the marketplace side or the natural side, I'm also a business consultant. I have 5 college degrees, earned degrees. I'm also a investor. and I am a GM for Domino's Pizza. So I do all of that on the natural side. I am a husband, I am a father, and an author, and just a jack of all trades. Jack of all trades. I also served in the military for 13 years, so I am a veteran. Huge shout out to that aspect in that life. But we are here to talk about relationship. So I'm an open book. However you want to start this journey here tonight, I want to be as transparent. I want to be as much of a help as possible that I can.
Okay, Apostle. Okay, well, you got to forgive me tonight because you are my apostle. So I'm just gonna call you apostle. Okay, so we know that you are a man of God, and so since we're being transparent, before your queen came, did you have other queens, other women of God trying to come after you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So just full transparent moment. Prior to my queen that I'm with now, I was married before. So I've been married and I've been divorced twice, actually, married and divorced. My longest marriage was 10 years. And I stayed in that marriage, not because of my daughter, who isn't even biologically mine, but she's mine. And no one could ever take that from me, okay? I've raised her since she was 9 months. She has my last name. That is my daughter. And if anyone says anything about it, they're going to have to see me, just like that.
Period.
But I stayed married to her mother for 10 years. And it was a very toxic relationship. And oftentimes we say what we would never do, right? I never stay in a relationship if the person was abusing me. I'll never stay in a relationship if the person was disrespecting me. I'll never do this. But until you're in that situation, love, when you're in certain relationships and stuff, you'll find yourself compromising in areas. You'll find yourself compromising in areas. And that's what I did. I compromised in areas that naturally I would have cut off, broke away from, or whatever the case may be. But I compromised in certain areas because at the same time, I was young, I was maturing, I was going through different things. I had the opinion, okay, if I was to leave, what would the church say? Here I am praying over other people. I'm marrying other people. What they're going to say if the very person they're looking to for counsel is going through a divorce and, not happy and has a toxic relationship. So needless to say, we are great at co-parenting. We're great at, doing what we need to do for our child, but we were a danger and a disaster to each other as it relates to marriage, right? So we had to go through that divorce process, okay? And so coming out of that divorce, I did not think that I was going to be married again. I knew that I wanted to be married, but I did not think that I was going to be married again. I'm just being completely honest. So I wasn't looking for anyone. I didn't desire a relationship or anything of that nature. I knew that I needed to work on me. And it was during that time that I felt like a lot of temptation had came. Women started to offer themselves to me, offer to take me out on dates, offer to have one night stands. And I'm not even saying suddenly. I'm talking about point blank out in the open with it. And so I really had to go to a place of shutting down, minimizing my time on social media, minimizing my around certain individuals, people that were not in relationships, but ready to meet and all. I had to minimize all of that. And I had to allow God to heal the broken part of me.
Come on.
I'm gonna be honest. I was devastated. I was with someone for so long, so I had to get to being by myself. What does being self look like? How does that feel? How do I operate in this capacity? Right? I'm used to, living in a house with someone. I'm used to going to bed with someone for 10 years. And now all of that shift. So now I got to get this whole new, brand new dynamic. Okay. And so long story short, yes. So women were coming after me, right? While I was going through this time. And in fact, I met my queen through church, but long distance. I was living in Louisiana. She was living in Florida. And ironically, we had the strongest connection during that time and during that season apart than I did with any of the women that were right there in front of me trying to throw themselves at me. And because I knew what I wanted, you know, let me just say this, because I think this is going to make perfect sense. I knew at a young age that I was family oriented. So I didn't lose my virginity until I got married. I wasn't the guy out there sleeping with everyone. I wasn't the guy out there, you know, doing all this, that, and the third. I was the guy that from a young age, I knew I was family minded. It was what I grew up around. It was what I admired. It was something that I desired. And so that was just me. And so the reality is for the queens out there listening, that there are, and I'm not saying that I was perfect or anything, but there are some men that you just have to be honest with and understand that all of them are not at that level, that is what they desire, or maybe not at that season of their life. And so you'll get disappointed because you are trying to enter into a relationship and you're ready for marriage or you're ready to be single. And that individual and that man at that time in his life, he's not ready for that right now. And so now you're heartbroken because you're trying to make someone a husband that's still ready to single and mingle, basically. And so, that's how it was. And so none of the women around me was what I wanted. And I gravitated my queen, who was in a whole different state. And even while we were together, there were still few women that attempted to, you know, shoot they shot, so to speak, or whatever the case may be. But it was blocked. It was denied. I knew what I
Right. What was it about her? Like when they said when a man findeth a wife, he find a good thing. So what was it about your good thing? When you sing your queen, what was it about her that made you, that you were attracted to, that you said, I want her? And what are some of the things that you did to let her know?
Question. I knew that she would be my wife within 2 weeks.
What?
It does not take a man that what he wants long. Okay, does not take him long. I knew within 2 weeks that she was going to be my wife. I knew it within 2 weeks. And I'm gonna tell you this. Now I don't want to be so mighty or whatever. I'm gonna be honest. Just how I'm wired. Yes, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, and all of that. But I'm gonna be honest. I could care if you got a bottle shape. I could care how beautiful you are, because all of that is on the outside. I got to live day in and day out with what's on the inside. Your character, your personality. That's what I have to live with. And so I think I had somewhat of an advantage of being married for 10 years and, you know, my previous marriages. And I had a little bit more of an advantage this go round. I will say that. So some of the things that I looked for in those first 2 weeks was how she observed, studied, and paid attention to me, to understand me, where I was going, because I'm a man with a vision, where I'm going. Okay?
Come on.
And how she made herself available to fit into where I am now and where I'm going. So that was number one that caught my attention. Number two, what caught my attention was her heart, how she loved her family, herself, and how she love to learn to love me.
Mm.
That's key right there.
Right.
I don't want you to get caught up in how handsome the man looks. I
Mm-hmm,
don't want you to
mm-hmm.
get caught up in, you know, he says the right thing and he woos you, and I don't want you to get caught up into all of that. She fell in love with learning to love me. And what it means is, okay, once again, so we started our relationship long distance. So what is my day-to-day life like? What is it like when I'm in a bad mood? What is it like when my day is not going well? How do I communicate that? How do we navigate, you know, this long distance? And in fact, I would say, and I know she will say, I think that our long distance, we were long distance for a year and maybe 4 or 5 months. We were long distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we intentionally, once a month, we would intentionally have a date. And so we would look to see where I was preaching, and she would meet me in Atlanta. She'll meet me in Atlanta. She'll meet me in South Carolina. I'll come to Florida once a month for 1 year and 5 months. We would go to church and we would go on a date. I would take her to Applebee's. We would spend time. We would talk. We would go to the movies, and then she would leave and go her way. I would leave and go my way. When we would come together for that 1 month, I would put gas in her tank. We've been together for 3.5, almost 4 years, 3.5 years.
Woo!
That time, she has never opened a car door. I don't care if it's raining.
Come on.
And if she gets in the car, she will tell you it aggravated her. She would, if she got out of the house first and got in the car, I would open the door. I would make her get out the car, close the door, open it back up, and then let her sit in and close the door. And she got so frustrated in the beginning of our relationship because she's like, you know, she was used to being independent, and what's the big deal? I can open up my car door, and we just wasting time making me get out and get back in. But she didn't understand that that's how I show my love. I show my love by acts of kindness. I show my love by showing respect and showing honor. Letting you know I'm going to open up car doors for you. I'm going to open up building doors for you. I'm every single time. So I understand you're frustrated, but I need you to understand that this is my love language. This is how I show I love you. I show it through action. And once she caught that, if it takes an extra 30 seconds for me to open the door, guess what? She gonna let me open that door.
I know that's my queen.
I love her.
Wow. Listen, that speak volume. Because if I done got my happy stuff in that car, all the work I gotta do, you make me get out. Listen, I'm gonna make sure, and that's good. Because guess what? For the kings that's out there, okay, you may get, what if you get hope to a queen like that has been by herself for so long, she used to open up her own door. And that's one way to help her and say, okay, open that car door, and so I need you to step out. Because I got to teach you that this is my job and I'm willing to do this and I want to do this for you. So step out, get out the car. And then that's a good way of showing her. And then now I bet she's standing there like, oh, I don't open no car door, honey. You know, and she waits for you to open, and she stepped to the side because you know you have to step to the side, let you open it, and then step to the side and take her time and wait for you to open up the doors to the building and the rooms and things like that. That is just, I just think it's just lovely. I think it's just lovely. So how long do you think it took for her to kind of, you know, to get the hang of it? Because her being independent for so many years and her doing it, and still for those times that you were not there, how long did it take when you was, you know, constantly there for her to get it that, hey, I am here to open the door for you?
I would say it probably took that year and a half. It probably took that year and a half because it was a lot for her to, you know, get accustomed to. Okay. And this is another thing. Was he just doing this because we see each other once a month? And so he's just, because it's a once a month thing, or is this something that he's going to keep up? And then when she realized that I was consistent in this. I remember the first time she got frustrated because it went from just it being once a month to now it's every day. Okay. So it's one thing when it's once a month, and when it's every day, and sometimes you're in a rush. So I remember the first time she got in the car and I opened the door, she locked the door. So I couldn't open it. And I went into the driver's side and we just sat there. And she was so frustrated. She was like, why don't you just start the car and drive? We got to go, whatever the case. And I'm like, we are not moving. We are not moving. We are not leaving until you allow me to open this door. You get out and you get back in. And it was in that moment that another key point spoke volume was communication. That was my way of expressing love, by always honoring and respecting and open the door. But I didn't realize that because I didn't communicate that well enough, that I'm not just doing good gestures. I'm not just, just a floozy in this, that this is how I love you. I didn't do a good job articulating it prior to that point. And so when we had that conversation, then reality clicked. And then it wasn't so much of a problem anymore, because now she understood, because I articulated and explained it well, what was my reason behind doing this. I know you're capable of opening the door, but I need you to understand that you my queen. I need you to understand that the kingdom revolves around us. And because it revolves around us, you're God's daughter, and I'm going to honor you as God's daughter.
Wow. Listen. And that's all it takes. I remember I had one, Queen, Dr. Stephanie said, start the car. Listen, she is not, listen, she talking about it all. Start the car, put gas in the car, all that good stuff. So before all of that, also, you said that you had to get yourself ready. You said you had to go because you was in a relationship, and you said, hey, it wasn't the best relationship. You had to take that time out for yourself. You even had other women that was after you that wanted to be with you. So I want to ask you this: was it scary to have women chasing after you? Because, we can be aggressive at times. We'll go after what we want. But was it a little scary for women to want to come after you, to want, to be aggressive and say, hey, I know what I want. You're what I want. Was it scary at times? And how did you handle that?
It can be very scary, especially when you're in certain spaces. So any man that's in a position of leadership, it can get very scary and very weird for us, especially because we're in the day and age of technology, social media. We're in the cancel culture. We're in the era where people can tell lies and rumors with no real proof and no real receipts, and they'll just go with it. We're in the era of scandals and things of that nature. So it gets very nerve-wracking during that time and any time. So even like now, I always make sure that my wife is included in conversations that I'm having with other females, because I work with a lot of them in ministry. I always
do
that. I have, a third party present. Sometimes I let people know, if I'm recording certain conversations or, situations or whatever, because it just gets very weird out here in these streets. So absolutely. But pretty much how I dealt with it is, like I said, I didn't entertain or, apply too much pressure to any of the attention that I didn't even want. So it really wasn't a major thing. And then, like I said, once me and my queen engaged in courting, engaged in dating and things of that nature, it was an open book. There was never not, we talked about everything. So we talked about things that I needed her assistance in healing from, and things that I needed to heal on my own. I needed to go to a therapist, whether that was I needed to talk to my pastor about, whether that was I needed to do something, have a long time and maybe, go for a run or go shoot some basketball or whatever the case may be. So we had those conversations, and likewise, what she needed my assistance in healing from, and what she needed space and grace in for her to heal on her own. We had those type of conversations. We had conversations. Okay, who's our break down the bloodline. Who's the grandma? Who's the grandpa? Who's the mama, the daddy, the brother, the sister, the cousins, and who's friends of the families that we call family members, but they ain't real family members, but we call them family members. We had that breakdown. So and all of that, my wife ain't got to look sideways like that ain't in the family tree. But we had those type of conversations.
Yes.
We went down, okay, who's friends on social media? Who's your friend on Facebook? Who's your friend on Instagram? So that way she ain't got to be concerned if someone like a picture, a picture that I post, she ain't got to question, okay, well, who this be liking your stuff? You get what I'm saying? We had those I'm just saying, it get real. It get real. So we don't, can I tell you that in 3.5 years, I promise you to this day, that is your niece. I challenge you to go and act. We've had one disagreement. And in that disagreement, let me tell you, in that one disagreement, do you know that she was so mad, not even over the disagreement, but let me tell you why she was mad. She was mad that I refused to argue with her.
Woo! Guys, that's our thing.
I refuse to engage in an argument with her. You are upset. You are in your feelings. And she's just talking. And I'm just quiet, calm, cool. And it upset her.
Yes.
Because she felt as if either I wasn't listening or I didn't care or what. And it was none of that. It was, I know how arguments can go and how it can happen. And I don't want it to get there because I love you. So I rather you have your moment, and we're gonna bookmark this. We're gonna come back and we're gonna deal with this civil-headed and comes. And she's never had that in a relationship.
Right.
So in the moment it upset her, but later on, it was like one of the most. She was calling her girlfriends, and I can't believe what just happened. I can't believe this. It's my relationship is amazing. I don't want to say it's the best and we perfect or anything. We're humans and but I love my relationship. I love my love. I love my wife. I love her.
Right, you do. Oh my goodness. So King, so for those times that you were out and dating and looking at this beautiful woman, because definitely beautiful, what did you do to keep yourself from, being feeling touchy and wanting to be intimate with her? Is there such a thing? Because I know you're a man of God. But did when you had those feelings, because I know they come up, but what did you do to keep yourself, and with her, help us out with that.
Listen, I don't know if you got the red tape, the producer's gonna shut you down or whatever. You can say what it is. People just because you got a title don't mean that you don't get horny. It don't mean that you don't want a little sex. Glory be to God. Hallelujah. So I'm glad that you asked that, because I am a man and I would like to classify myself as a alpha male. Okay, as an alpha male. I can be very outgoing. So I love physical touch. I love she'll touch my beard. She'll hug me. She'll kiss my cheek or whatever the case may be. I love holding her hand. I love grabbing her by the waist. Okay. These are all things that I love. And I loved it while we were dating. I loved it while we were engaged. And I definitely love it now that we married. Glory.
Okay. Period.
Glory. So one of the things we had an honest conversation. We had an honest conversation, and we both talked about where we were, you know, sexually. Now, obviously, I was married before, so of course, I had sex in my previous relationship, in my marriage.
Right.
She wasn't married, and she hasn't been in a relationship at that time for, you know, quite some time, 3-4 years. So she wasn't having sex neither, right? So we both
Right.
in a place where both of us are not sexually active, can be sexually frustrated, and of
Okay.
course now we dating and everything, and of course the devil would play his thing, you know. Just because you're a man of God, you speak in tongue, don't mean every now and then the muscle and the blood don't start what helps is conversation, boundaries, limitations, okay, and just being honest.
Right.
Hey, I'm getting a little horny and it's getting late. I think it's best we part. So I do a little something. I feel a little Luther Vandross coming. I'm just saying, some Marvin Gaye. I feel it. All right, so we gonna have to part. We're gonna have to part. But I think that us being honest, I'm a joker, as you can tell, but I'm also very truth and very transparent. And I think that those moments and those conversations and the reality of it has helped us. Now, I know other people that are, you know, in the body of Christ, other pastors and whatnot that are watching. You know, everyone has their thing. I know what the word of God say. You know, we shouldn't fornicate and all that. And I'm all for the word of God. But we also have to be honest. And being honest is majority of the people in this world, whether they are saved or not, most of them are either masturbating by the age of 9. Most of them are either being raped, molested. Most of them are being sexually active. We do not have, it's not like we have a huge percentage of people that are virgins and that are pure. Now, to those that are out there, shout out to you. You are doing an amazing job. You are following the word of God. And I pray that God blesses you. I pray that you meet your soulmate, your spouse, your king, your queen, and that you guys are fruitful and you multiply, my God. But the reality is that there are some of us with some proclivities. There are some of us that had some setbacks. Some of us that have backslid. Some of us that whatever, our lifestyle, whatever. Some people that have been gang raped. Some people that like that they got some swinger. They got all kind of stuff out there. I'm just being honest. Okay. And so, you know, how do we address all of that? Because one of the things that I hate is, you know, in the church, we talk about marriage. And of course, we know that marriage is supposed to be between a man and a wife. But now same sex can get married. Okay. We got people that's being transgender. And then we have these marriage retreats and marriage talk shows and all that. And we always talk about it from, you know, this perspective. But how do we help those other people that are struggling, those other people that are in different situations, and just be honest? And that's how we help them. We be transparent and we be honest. I'm going to be honest myself. Okay, real quick. I'm going to let you get back to answer the question, but real quick. So when I was younger, I struggled very heavily with masturbation and pornography. I struggled for years. I told you that I was a virgin when I lost my virginity when I got married, but I was struggling bad with pornography and I was struggling bad with masturbation prior to that. And it led into my marriage. I'm going to be honest. Me and my wife, my ex-wife at that time, we can be intimate. And no matter how many times she put it down, flipped it, and reversed it, guess what? Because I had an addiction, I was still going back to this fantasy world and all of that. And there was, at that point in time, I was upset with God because I would pray and prayer didn't seem like it was working. They told me to take cold showers. I took cold showers. That didn't seem like it was working. They told me to put up parental blocks and do all of this and restrictions and all that to stop you from watching it and stop you from doing it. They told me to do all of this. I'll be honest, everything that they told me, maybe it helped a little, but it did not take it away. It was not until there was a maturity in my mind and in my heart that said, I'm ready to let this go and I need to stop. This is unhealthy. It is causing problems in my relationship. It is doing something to me. It wasn't until I myself eternally got to that point that no longer was a problem. So to any person that is homosexual and you desire to be straight or you desire to come clean or whatever the case may be, but it's a hard thing, and just all this other stuff, when you get to that place eternally on the inside, within your heart, your mind, I'm telling you, it's amazing what God can and will do. He can and will deliver you. He is able to uphold you with his righteous right hand. There is nothing too hard. Nothing too hard.
So what can be, so what happens when, let's say you in ministry and you are a man of God, no man of like your status and things of that nature, and you have I don't know if I should call it a slip up, but if you have a moment where you do, actually do something, how do you, how do you get that back? I mean, because I know you probably beat yourself up, because I remember, I ain't gonna lie, I was in church and ministry and things like that, and was having sex and everything, was enjoying it all and everything. And there was times that I would do something, I'd be like, oh, I beat myself up. I shouldn't be in ministry. I shouldn't be going to church. I feel, during the moment, it felt good. It was all that good stuff and everything. Forgot about church and everything. But once it was over, I felt dirty. I felt like I shouldn't have done. I beat myself up. So how, as a man, what are some of the things that, you did, for those moments of vulnerability, when you had those slip-ups, hiccups, and things like that? What are some of the things that you did to get back, in position where you don't feel bad about it no more?
So I would say this, that you have to have an accountability partner. So, right, every leader needs a leader, right? So I thank God that I had a authentic, genuine leader that I can be vulnerable, I can be transparent, and they withheld my information. I didn't have to worry about this person exposing me. I didn't have to worry about this preaching on me. I didn't have to worry about this person casting judgment on me. And so it was this accountability that helped me recover and helped me restore myself back. So some of the practical things that I did after, so of course I prayed, I repented, but maybe I needed to take time to figure out, because one of the things that I learned was that there were certain seasons that temptation would be stronger than others. For instance, for me, it always seemed like for me around the winter month that the temptation was the strongest. During spring and summer, I was good, but it was something about the winter month, maybe because it was getting darker early. The world was, slower at that time. It was something about that the temptation just was strong and was rapid and was quick and things of that nature. So I had to discern when the attacks were coming. And when I learned that, okay, this is when the attacks come the most, now I can counteract the attacks. I can prepare for the attacks that were coming and things of that nature. So that was some of the practical stuff. I had to take time. I had to, focus, on me, give that time and give that attention that I was given to negative stuff or stuff that would weigh me down or pull me down. I had to channel that into something positive. And so that's where You know, I'm an author of, I think, over 13 books now, 4 solo, and then the rest have been all co-author. Okay, so some of my books have been given where I would have been watching porn, or I would have been doing this. I now spent that energy trying to figure out. I now spent that time and that energy that I would have been scrolling on X video or whatever the case may be. I now channeled it into learning how to study statistics and numbers and all of this, and created my business consulting company. I now channeled all of that energy into something else.
That's good, Apostle. I have another apostle here, Andre Dwayne. I love this man of God. Yeah, you'll love him too if you ever had a chance to meet him. Such a transparent individual as well. And he said, "Come on, sir. I thought I was the only one. My struggle was in the fall time." Amazing. So, a question: what is it with the fall time? Is it because you're cold and you want to cuddle? What is the struggle with what's the fall thingy going on with y'all kings here? Talk to me.
Listen, I'm telling you, it is the fall and the winter. The fall and the winter. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. It's the atmosphere of the world. I'm telling you, it's the atmosphere of the world. It gets it gets darker earlier. The mood. Businesses, if you notice, most businesses they start to decrease. Schools are they have their week-long break and things of that nature. It's the atmosphere. Someone said it. It's cuddle season. It's holiday time. You got Thanksgiving. You got Christmas. You want to be around family. You want to be around people. It's an intimate moment. It's the changing of the leaves, the fall, the autumn. It's the beautification. It's just the atmosphere, the aroma, the essence.
Oh, he said, so King Andre said, the scent of the season reminded me of unhealthy intimacy. This might be too deep for some people. You listen, the scent of the season reminded me of unhealthy intimacy. This might be too deep for some people. Listen, come through. Don't have me to bring you on, Apostle. Don't have me to bring you on, because we need you to go deep. Okay, talk to us about that deep season. Okay, she said, what about the summertime? Because us women now, we're different. Us women, we're probably the ones.
Summertime. Let me tell you this: the summertime wasn't that much of a big temptation and a big battle, because that's my most busiest season. So I'm constantly on the road. I'm constantly doing something or whatever the case may be. But for another man, okay, that does not have the schedule that I have and does not do the type of work that I do, that maybe has more leisure time, right? Maybe can go to the beach, and at the beach, they ain't seeing nothing but thighs and bikinis. Well, they ain't seeing nothing but big buns and tatas. Well, that might be a struggle and a temptation for them. To God be the
okay.
They better be careful. I heard it's sundress season. Sundress. And I just found out the other day, I don't know if I gotta bind and rebuke this spirit, but someone said that we entered into hoochie daddy season. I don't know. The hoochie daddy shorts or something of that nature.
No, don't do that. What is that?
I don't know, and I ain't trying to figure it out.
Okay, okay. So, so is Pastor Jeffy Clark the third? Is this Pastor?
That's MIT Jeffy. That's Timothy. That's Timothy, y'all. That's my Timothy.
Okay. So we got everybody. They just laughing at you at this point. They just laughing. So. Okay, so we're talking about, because I think y'all kings are very, y'all are visual, right? Y'all are very visual. So let me ask you a question. I don't understand this. So let me tell you something about us women. If we see another woman, it doesn't matter how she's dolled up, dressed up, or whatever, you give us a hot second, We can tell you from top to bottom, from a hairdo, what kind of earrings she's wearing, necklace, nails, her shirt, her top, how it fits her, everything. We can look, give us 2 seconds. We don't examine her from top to bottom, front and back. Why can't y'all men do the same? We know y'all looking, but why does it take so long for y'all to look at her? It's like, okay, you should be done looking by now, and y'all still looking. So what is that all about? Why y'all just can't just, just
It
take
it
a
it
second?
it just takes us a little longer to process. See, our eyes can see, but our mind gotta comprehend. That's all. Just take us look. We gotta get a good look to make sure we comprehending what we looking at.
Oh, so okay, all right, okay. So during those times of, we talked about the time of intimacy and going back and praying. It's occupying your time, putting your energy into those things. So for people, men of God is out there. And just as you, as well as yourself, you said, this is how I did it. During those times, this is how I got myself prepared for my queen. And while I was not dating and things like that, and while I was dating, what I did with my time is I put that energy in writing books and getting my businesses and things like that together. You occupied yourself instead of allowing yourself to have that empty space, because then idle mind is a devil's workshop. So then you'd have to worry about, going to the porno and all those old things. So by that time, you're pretty much prepared. And so when you was with your queen, you also said, yeah, there were moments that I had some weak moments, but when I felt that thing coming, I would tell her, listen, it is time for me to go. I got to go ahead and leave on. And she understood that, what I'm saying? Instead of, luring you in and things like that, because, the temptation is real these days. Okay. So I love how you just, have just been transparent on tonight. If there's anything that you would like to share with the kings on tonight, about how, more about how you prepared. I wonder some of the things that they can do as well to prepare for their queen. Okay, let me ask you this about job wise, financially. Because I know you and I, we have had our talks and things like that. And I'm saying to myself, she got her good. And, because you got a vision, you have ministries and things like that. And you're not even that old, like you're young and you have so much going for yourself, and you found your queen. If you wanted to give some information to some kings out there, and you would say, this is things that you can do to prepare yourself for your queen, what would you say?
I would say preparing yourself for your queen is actually making an investment into yourself, right? So I didn't find it as doing extra chores or doing, anything out of the ordinary. I was doing stuff that would perfect me. So when it came down to my finances, I started to invest and work on my credit. I started to deal with debt. When it came down to education, I knew I wanted to, go back to school. And so I was looking into different things. And in fact, while we were courting, we actually supported each other going through school. So we've been together for so long that we both went back to school. We both graduated, and we're getting ready to go back to school. I graduated with my second master's degree. She graduated with her bachelor's degree. She's going to school for her master's. I'm getting ready to go back to school for a counseling license. And so really, it's the best of both worlds. So now how we handle finances, she's the investor, right? So she invests into stocks and stuff. So I give her $50 a month to go and invest. So I don't have to do that. I don't try to do it, to do everything. She's the investor. That's what she's learning. That's what working for her. So I give her money to go ahead and invest. We talk about everything from bills to things that I'm responsible for as far as like the church and my business, to what she's responsible for with her bills and all of that. And, our cars, our vehicle, we got 3 altogether, cell phones and all that. We have never had an argument or a disagreement as it relates to finances, because we communicate. We have never had a disagreement as it relates to, communication, other than that one time which I told you about. And then we have never really had a disagreement. And I'm saying this because these are the top 3 things that people get divorced from: finances, communication, and intimacy. We have never had a disagreement in regards to that. Now, I'm gonna be honest, there are times where, we may not be as active sexually as, we want to be or we desire to be. Let's just be honest. Let's be real. You got two hardworking people, different schedules, different routines. The reality is, I'm just be honest, people, and unless you ain't got no job, no kids, and you ain't doing that, you ain't having sex all day, every day. I'm sorry. You ain't. Okay. So, there are seasons where, we may have it more regularly than the norm. And then there may be seasons where we might have it, once a week, once every 2 weeks, it just depends. And you have to communicate and you have to adjust to different seasons. And this is another thing where they say your first year is going to be your hardest year. Our first year was easy. We have not had a hard year, so to speak. To God be the glory. Hallelujah.
Right.
Because of how we invest and how we pour into each other. Now, Queen Yolanda, real quick, this is how much I love my queen and I love my wife. You were here for this moment. My wife, earlier this year, celebrated 10 years of being a nurse. I've only been in her life for about 3.5 of those years, right? So the other, 6.5 years that she's been a nurse, I didn't know her, she didn't know me, but I knew that she was out there grinding, doing whatever she had to do as the LPN, doing whatever she had to do to work her way up. So she celebrated 10 years of being a nurse. I threw her a surprise party, spent over $1,000 getting a DJ, getting food, inviting her family, doing decorations and all that to let her know that you spent 10 years in a career that people are getting burnt out during a global pandemic and all kinds. I love you this much that I'm going to invest and pour back into you. I'm going to celebrate you because I'm proud of you. You're my wife,
Right.
you're a getter, and all of that. And not only did I do that, but then she had a surprise on top of the surprise, on top of the family, on top of the food, on top of the DJ and all that. She got a letter from the governor, the highest ranking official in our state, wrote her a letter based upon her contribution. You were there for that. What was that like? Seeing a king honor his queen like that?
No, it was breathtaking to see her moment where she was just like looking at family and friends like, wow, for me, it was like a special moment. And I know you basking just to look at, family coming together for this moment and her getting that. And when she looked at her letter, and then she smiled at, like, she was still, you can tell that she was still trying to process what had just happened. And then me just sitting back and just looking like, wow, my God, 10 years. A lot of people have never been recognized for being on a job, or family recognizing them for that. Just like you said, most people walked off their jobs during that time. They left the hospital. They left doctors. They left. A lot of people in hospitals, they left because they was working overtime. They was putting a lot of time. And then the person that she is, that means that she had a lot of patience, a lot of records and things like that. So I commend you for that. It was a blessing for me to be in the atmosphere, to get a chance to see her being appreciated like that. Was beautiful. And not many men have a vision to even put on such a thing. But I love it when a man be romantic like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, good thing y'all was, married by that time, because honey, we probably haven't been repenting and stuff like the next day or something like that, because after such an event, there's, it's time to go to sleep and cuddle, cuddle time, so it was a beautiful moment. And I mean, just for you to have that thought about doing that, not many men know how to prepare, how to even begin to do something like that. You did good. I loved it. I do have something here. So, Evangelist Samwana, she asked a question. You've already answered it once before, but I'm gonna ask the question again. How did you know she was the one?
once again, I knew she was the one by how she studied me, how she loved to learn to love me, and how she loved her family and how she loved herself. Those were the three main components that spoke volume to my head and my heart. And I knew without a shadow of doubt that I was going to marry her. And in fact, we would have been married sooner, but she wasn't ready.
Right.
So we actually would have been married. We probably would have been married our first year of even dating. I was ready. I was ready. She wasn't ready. And I patiently waited for her. I watched this queen go to church services where people would go around and they would prophesy how she would be my wife. And, you know, I watched her have conversations with people and they would, why don't y'all already get married? And da-da-da-da. And I became a protector.
That's right.
Protector in that moment. Don't pressure her.
That's
Don't force her. She will know when she's ready.
Oh, no, that's right.
When she's ready.
You better come through, King.
She was ready. Because I was waiting on you. When she was ready, that's all it took. That's all it took.
So prime example for the queens out there, that king he knew 2 weeks of being with her that she was the one. And then a year, he was ready to marry. So all these years we be waiting on people to make it listen. Yeah, I'm just saying. The kings be knowing that that's the one. They know. So Apostle said something. He said, Apostle Andre, he's talking again. But this is an old message. I put it up once before. He said, bless you, sir. I honored you for your transparency. We need more of this. Our stories are very similar. I pray that we cross paths one day. I can see you two linking up. I think he's in Orlando. I can see you all having like a men conference or like a men's thing where y'all just get kings to come together and y'all have a not like a conference. I don't know if you want to call it a conference, but you know, a circle where y'all just be transparent and really just be honest and allow the men of God to just breathe, to know that, hey, you're going to have these moments because, you know, it's not talked about, you know, even queens need these kind of moments, but you know, it's when we talk about this stuff anyway. But a lot of kings don't talk about it, like, man of God, you're going to have these things that this do happen, you know, and allow them to breathe. So I can see you two connecting. Apostle Andre, you're definitely going to have to get in contact with my apostle because yes, y'all do have similar stories.
Love to connect.
Yes. Yeah, you'll definitely you'll love this man of God. So I don't know if you're still on. Apostle Andre, come back to me if you are, and then we can you know you have my number. I think we have a number or a messenger. We'll see each other on messenger. I can connect you with this man of God. And so let me see what Sister Lindsay said. Come on, Queen. She said, Lindsay, Sister Johnny, yes, my king knew I would be his wife. I know that's right. You better say that. You better say that. Okay, but this has been beautiful and it has been fun. And I would love to have that that conversation with you and your queen. Oh my goodness. Whenever she gets ready, you know, for her to come on and talk and tell her part of knowing when you were the one when she was ready, and was she nervous, you know, and you know, I would love to have a conversation with you two together, but we'll plan that. But I would love that. But this has been beautiful. Is there anything else you would like to share? Oh, we know that you have an event coming up. I know this is separate from everything else. There's an event that we have coming up in November, right? And so can you tell us a little bit more? I know this is different. This is not, but we got to get this out there. Let's talk about this event that's coming up in November. So for those of you that would like to see him in person, have opportunity. This is one of the events where he will be at. And if y'all want to travel to South Carolina, let's get it. Let's go. Tell us
North Carolina. Yes, indeed. So we have Homecoming, which is November the 14th and 15th. Once again, November the 14th and 15th, come home for the weekend. Listen, I'm excited about Homecoming. This year's theme is the year of the clean hands and the pure hearts. It is for every person, every individual. If you're a believer or non-believer, if you're in ministry, in leadership, not in ministry, not in leadership, it is for everybody. In fact, it is for everybody so much that if you're 17 or under, you come for free. You come for free. 17 and under comes for free. All right. Listen, I want you to get there. God is going to be there. Prophetess Sophia Ruffin Wilson is going to be there. Prophet Jarrell Solomon is going to be there. Dr. NYC, Prophet TJ Maddox, the singer herself, Yael Hilton, will be there. But God, once again, is going to be there. We're going to have baptism service go as well. So if you want to dedicate your life to the Lord, you want to get cleaned again, wash away your sins, and come a new creature, you can do that at homecoming. Listen, I'm excited. You need to be there. So we have day sessions, 9 a.m. to 12, and then we have night sessions starting at 6 p.m. You got to be there. You got to be there. You got to be there. You can go to homecoming.cc for the website, for all of the information, for hotels, for travel, and all of that. And if you want the hook up, you just reach out to me. Facebook, Mike Ebron. Instagram, Apostle_Mike_Ebron. Reach out to me. We'll make sure we take care of you, get you a good seat in the building. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
I was trying to see if I can pull that from off your page real quick. I'm trying to see if I can find that. So yeah, if y'all are interested in going to this conference, you all, it is on his Facebook page under Mike Ebron. Y'all got to go to this. Okay, so I see someone trying to get some information up for you. North Carolina, my home state. Meet us there, Dr. Stephanie. Okay, November 15th through the 16th in Salisbury, North Carolina, homecoming 2024. Apostle, is the ticket still going on for $40? Is that did you say that? Because I was looking for the flyer.
So it was supposed to end last night. However, fortunately, so many people have asked me to extend it to Friday because Friday is payday. So okay. I had grace and extended it till Friday. So you have until Friday to get VIP tickets for $40. $40. You get VIP tickets. You get everything that is included in the VIP package.
I'm gonna see if I'm still trying to see if I can pull that flyer up, but if it allow me to pull it, let me see if it allow me to pull it. But because I wanted to show them what it looked like. And y'all, this flyer right here, there we go. So this is homecoming, and then you have Sophia Ruffin Wilson, TJ Maddox. You said how you pronounce his name, Apostle Jarrell Solomon. You said Jarrell
Solomon.
Okay. Jarrell Solomon. Is it Yael Hinton?
Yael Hilton.
And NYC, Dr. NYC and Wilbert Best for it. So y'all make sure that y'all come and get that ticket because it is going to be good. Homecoming is going to be good. I don't know if y'all ever been to any of Apostles events, but this man of God can go and he can minister. Y'all see how transparent he is? Yes. And if you are looking for speakers, but y'all, he's getting ready to go on his honeymoon, so don't be coming to him the first week or two of July. Y'all leave him alone. Listen. So y'all make sure y'all don't bother him and his queen because they're getting ready to get the Marvin Gaye.
Let me tell you this real quick. So this is what I did. Okay, every Friday this month, my wife, my queen, y'all, she got a gift that helped her prepare for the honeymoon. So we don't leave until July 1st through the 7th is our honeymoon, but we leave to go overseas July 2nd. She doesn't know where we're going. It's a surprise. Okay. She has no clue where we're going. She will not know until we get to the gate. Okay. Ooh. Get to the gate. She'll know where we're going. All right. Every Friday this month, she has gotten a gift. So I think like the first Friday, she got some packages from Amazon. The second Friday, she got $250 to go shopping to get all her clothes. She got a gift card to Victoria's Secret worth $100. She got $100 in cash to book her appointment to get her hair done, her nails done. This Friday, she got another package from Amazon that came with like passport holders and keepsakes and all kind of stuff. And so we got one Friday left, and she gets a whole nother gift this upcoming Friday. I am excited. So listen, it's a movie, y'all. It is a movie. I don't even think she knows how to handle this, but it's a movie. And so then we got rules for our honeymoon. So when we get to the gate, we both have to choose one person in our family. I choose one, she choose one, to tell the destination of where we're going for security reasons. But we cannot post about the honeymoon. We can't tell anyone until we get back.
I know that's right. We're gonna wait. We're gonna post. Nobody knows when we're going. Nobody knows where we're going at. No one knows when we return. Then nobody knows anything. They just know we're MIA. I love it. Like this. Oh my goodness. You have taught the kings tonight. And those queens, y'all, listen. What would we do? We had a king that did that for us. That before an event, he helped us to prepare. Do they even know how to go and get us a thing so we can go get our hair done, nails done, and toes done, and pamper ourselves to get our hair done and everything? I'm just saying. Anyway, this has been wonderful. So y'all have made it possible. This has been a joy. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, because when he bring his queen on, it's gonna be sizzling. Okay, y'all thought this night was good, but it's gonna be even better. I know I kind of put some pressure on Apostle to come in and come on, and he was prepared. And he squeezed his time in. He was busy, he had other things going on. So Apostle, I want to tell you thank you for taking out the time to come on Nubian Queen Talk Show. We thoroughly enjoyed you on tonight, and I pray that you were you answered all the questions for the queens. I did go back to see if you answered all the questions. I think you did. So I want to tell you thank you. And for those of you that's out there, if you all would like to advertise on Nubian Queen Talk Show, we have awesome guests like this here on Nubian Queen Talk Show, and we will advertise whatever events that you have going on. Just send your videos, only $25, and we put it out there as often as we can, and we put it on the show as well. And so I do have one advertisement that I'm going to show in just a moment. And then we're going to let our apostle go. But y'all make sure y'all reach out to him. Y'all follow him. Oh, let me do the video real quick. And then I want you to give us your handles. Is that okay, Apostle? I want to do her video real quick, and then we'll come back. I'll come back to you.
Prophetic Inspiration Inc., owned by Ernestine L. Smith, founder of the Word of the Day Ministry, the visionary and host of the Word of the Day talk show that airs on the Clubhouse every Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's the founding member of the Word of the Day Bible Study and the Poetic Plug. The pastor, spoken word artist, author, poet, and she brings the word to the ministry that God has led her from mirror ministry to prophetic ministry. The Day Talk Show is the safe place where you can eat, receive, and be empowered with the word of the day and prophetic affirmations. So come and join us, the Word of the Day House, on Clubhouse app every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to get the word of the day.
And there you have it. And that is how the commercials go. Okay, King Apostle Mike, can you give us your handles? Let us know how we can reach you, just in case others they want to invite you to come and be a speaker. They would like to invite you to a Men's of Kings conference. Oh, that'd be nice to go. I mean, all the single women going to be trying to come that next night for the Kings conference. For a King's event for all the single kings to come forth. But anyway, I'm just gonna stop. I ain't trying to do that and make it. But anyway, it'd be great to have men just come together, for an event, married and single, for them to have the conversation and talk and just let them know it's time to breathe. Just having moments even, with other stuff going on, where they can just, have a conversation and talk, because you even have men that saved that are married and they have stepped out on their wives, and some of them feel bad about it. I mean, that would just be a moment for them to just forgive themselves, and things like that. But anyway, with that being said, can you give us your handle, so just in case we have people that want to reach out to you, have you to come to their conference and help them to be able to put a conference on and bring you on and things like that? Can you give us some of your handles of how we can reach you?
Absolutely. So, of course, you can go to my website, which is www.mikeebron.com. It is my name. It's very simple. You can reach me on Facebook, Mike Ebron. Once again, Instagram, Apostle_Mike_Ebron. And then I think you can also email me at prayerclub21@gmail.com. Once again, prayerclub21@gmail.com. You can send me an email. So those are all the ways you can get in touch with me, keep up with me. I'm also on the app called Clubhouse. On that prayer club room, it goes down in the prayer club room every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, I got some exciting things coming up, some exciting things that's getting ready to be released. And now is the time that you want to connect, you want to partner, you want to join, you want to be involved in what God is getting ready to do.
Thank you for that, Apostle. I was trying to see. Okay, that's it. I love you. Thank you for your time again. And we shall do this again, and we'll let everyone know whenever your queen comes forth so we can have this beautiful interview with you. Thank you for your time. I love you, kings and queens, and thank you for being a part of Nubian Queen Talk Show. Y'all take care of yourself. Peace and blessings.
Blessings.